Are you dreading getting out of bed every day to go to work? The instant you wake up having thoughts about finding a way to get out of going to work? Feeling exhausted, burnt out, and like you've stopped growing? And you've achieved this perfect dream you had for your career or your business, and still are finding that you're feeling completely disconnected from it, not even sure what the point is anymore, and not feeling like you're growing. If this is you, I'm Jen, owner and founder of Laughing Lotus Wellness and Purpose Expert. What I do is work with people just like you who are feeling disconnected, not in the space that they wanted to be with their business and career, feeling really disconnected. And what we want to do is spend some time together figuring out ways for you to reconnect your purpose and success. So after all of my years of doing clinical social work and 15,000 plus hours of working with people, one of the things I know that's really important that I want to share with you today is this idea around growth and learning. And so I'm going to give you 3 tips to mind-blowing growth and expansion as we head into this month of May, and we're spending all of this energy outgrowing our perceived containers, and we are stepping into our intuition. And this week, we're going to really focus in on this idea about really kind of knowing how to continue growing ourselves, particularly our minds. And so it's an area of our world that I think is so crucial. I've been a scholar my entire life. I'm just a really huge nerd about learning and education. I absolutely love it. It is one of my main values in my world. And so I just know how I've expanded by engaging in this. And particularly if we are in a space of feeling stuck and like we're not quite sure where we want to go, what happens with growth is that it expands our minds and it takes us to new and creative ways of looking at things. And so I renegotiated the definition of expand for this month to be engaging in zany, passion, and novel direction. And what that means is we're going to throw energy at expanding outward in new spaces, taking up space, not being afraid to step into our greatness, our own unique sense of who we are and what we bring in your specific gifts. And so that's what we're going to be doing. And so for today, 3 tips on mind-blowing growth. So how to engage in this. And I wanted to kind of just speak to you like, what does that mean and how does it show up? And so I wanted to talk about really quickly, just share a quick reading because I love this. First of all, a quick quote. If you want to change, expand your mind, old ways won't open new doors, by Kristen Butler. And I love this idea, right? If I continue to do things and see things the same way, I'm not shifting and changing, okay? And so if I need to step outside of myself, outside of my perceived container, whatever that might be for you, I am going to need to understand that I'm going to need new experiences. And so I'm going to need to be in novel information, which means it's moving us out of our mark, okay? So super powerful. And then this is by Morgan Harper Nichols, and she says, and I think this is just really beautiful, and whenever she starts to forget the story of her original bloom, the flowers of this green earth remind her she too will spring up from the ground again. Gravity will not restrain her, for the sun and rainfall will propel her up from gritty soil into the open morning air, and light will meet her there, and she will begin to unfold in the way she is meant to. And again, that's All Along You Were Blooming by Morgan Harper Nichols. And I just find that so compelling to me. Like I'm like get so juiced up when I listen to that idea. And so 3 tips. We're gonna get to those now. 1, always be a student. Always be a student in life. Be receptive and open to knowing that there's so much out there that we can engage in that's going to help elevate and shift us out of our spots. And sometimes that's exactly what we need, is a good old shakeup. And so I really encourage you to stay a student your entire life. And you can do that in so many ways. You can listen to audiobooks, you can read books, you can attend events and lectures and series, you can find classes that you want to attend, you can find community to share space in, right? This is the same idea of book clubs and things like that. There's so many avenues that we can get into and expand our minds. And so I want you to always be a student. The second is to share space in community. So I've already mentioned that, and this is a big one for me. Community is a brilliant space to grow in. And we really benefit from being in a space of listening to other people's thoughts and their journeys and their stories and how they're working to expand outside themselves. And so for me, community has always been a really huge proponent of growing into our purpose, growing in awareness, and having this journey of validating our story, our walk, and having people to cheer us on as we're working to expand and grow. There's this beautiful community of humans that have our backs. And so for me, one of the things I definitely recommend is that you plug into a beautiful community that holds space for you to continue to grow and learn all the time. Like I said, book clubs, brilliant space, groups. There's so many things out there that you're going to find something that resonates. And it might take a little research, but you're going to find a group of people out there that are your tribe. And so I definitely want you to plug into your tribe to do this journey. I'm going to tell you, I have grown more by being in community with people than I ever would just on my own. So I would love to see you plug into shared space. And then engaging in personal growth, whatever format that takes. So personal growth, like I said, can be classes. It can be anything like that where you're going and you're learning and having new experiences. It can be travel. Travel's a beautiful way to engage in personal growth, right? I'm traveling, so I have to read maps and I've got to engage and I've got to talk to the locals and I might want to figure out where the best spots are to eat or stay. And so there's research that we do, right? But there's so many different ways outside of just books and classes. We get really kind of stuck in the way that we see personal growth. And personal growth is anything that's going to expand you, even listening to a comedian on Audible. And I one time had someone say that, and it sort of like, for me, like opened up this expansive way of thinking. Like I had gotten really stuck in like needing to take in really educational, like professional literature, right? And so I got really stuck. And I started to not enjoy it the same way. And so every once in a while, we've got to understand that there's tons of ways to engage in personal growth. And so I really invite you to step into that. So the first one that I mentioned, be a student, is really a mindset. My mindset is that I show up to the world as a student. I'm ready to take in information. I'm ready to grow and learn. I'm ready to expand myself my entire lifespan long. And by the way, that's going to help you stay youthful. That mindset and that activity of personal growth is going to keep you youthful. The more we're using our brains our entire lifespan, the fresher that we will stay. So I want to invite you to kind of adopt that mindset as well. But engaging in your preferred methods of personal growth and shake it up and try new ones from time to time just to see if you're still in the same space or if you too could even use some renewing in some way. So those are my very, very favorites. There's tons of ways to do this, but I just really want to invite that mindset of being a student. I want you to invite to share that space and community as you grow. And then I also want you to engage in personal growth your entire lifespan and find different ways to engage and grow and learn that fit for you and resonate for you on a really deep level. So for today, the thing I'm going to offer you up is to go and check out. I have a free guide for your path to purpose, and it's got some questions that goes with it. And then there's a free meditation that goes with it as well. So I have the link below. You are welcome to go check out my free path to purpose and meditation. And I hope that you find it so helpful. So if you're wanting to learn, if you're wanting to expand, this is the perfect week to have a little bit of personal growth that you tie right into your journey by going and accessing that. So again, that link is right there. Feel free to go check it out. Please reach out if you've got any questions, but I'm so excited for you to start on your path to purpose. And that's my journey, is to reignite your path to purpose. So we'll see you next time. More content on how to expand.